And yes, Aluna, I told you she'll be joining us live via Zoom from the United Kingdom. I want to say a big welcome to Aluna. How you doing, Aluna?
What's up? Hi.
Welcome,
thanks for having me.
Welcome to Nigeria virtually.
Yes,
we can say
that.
You know, COVID-19 has taught us to be very, very proactive. Now we can sit in one country and be in 7 nations at the same time. So it makes it even easier for every single person. How are you doing and how have you been dealing with it? I hear there's a second lockdown in the United Kingdom. What's going on with you?
Yeah, there's a second lockdown. I'm actually in between, LA and London. So right now I'm stuck in LA because I can't fly back to London because it's locked down here, it's locked down there. So I think a lot of musicians are experiencing that kind of sort of stranded in one or the other because we usually travel around a lot, you know?
I get that as well. Where's your daughter? Is she in London? Because you said you're stuck somewhere else. Is she with you or she's somewhere else?
Me. Yeah. No, she's with me.
She's with you. Okay, better. At least your heart to be at rest for that one. Okay, so Aluna, well done. I love this particular song, Get Paid. It reminds me of a song. Please, it's I know you took the sample from somewhere. Please remind me, what is the title of that song?
Okay, Heads High by Mr. Vegas.
Thank you so much. So how did that jam happen? I know it's from your Renaissance project. I love the project, by the way. And tell me exactly how that project came to be. First of all, please answer, is it AlunaGeorge or just Aluna now?
So this project is just Aluna.
Okay.
And AlunaGeorge is actually a duo.
Yes.
Me and a guy called George from
true.
London. So this is my own personal project, which is why it has so much more of a cultural relevance to my own cultural heritage.
Okay.
Because it's a personal journey, and I wanted to be really self-indulgent with this album. Just have it be all about where I'm from, where I grew up, all mixed together in a sort of melting pot, which is who I am, basically.
Where exactly did you grow up? Because there's you could get this Afrobeat feel a bit from your album. So someone can actually say that you have African roots. Can we say that for sure? So,
I mean, obviously, the Black people of the diaspora all around the world have African roots, but it's a heritage thing. So my dad is Jamaican, so and my mum was actually born in Tanzania, but she's Indian. So although culturally she's not African, she's the one that played like African music to me in the house when I was really little. So that's my kind of connection. And then at some point, when I was older, I moved to London, and I've always been connected to London, but I didn't live there, So I was like, trying to get to London for a lot of my youth. Okay, because London is where everything's happening.
That was where you met George in 2009, I suppose. That's yes.
Well, yeah, I didn't start working with him until like 2011, really, and then our first track came out in 2012. Okay, and like the Heads High track came about because I was working with Soko, and he was like, "What are you feeling right now?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm really inspired by this track, Heads High," and he was like, "Well, what if you were to sing the melody but give it your own twist?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. That's someone else's song." I had these rules, and he was like, "Why don't you break your rules? Like, if you're feeling it and it's just a bit of fun, go for it." And that gave me this ability to be free with the lyrics and do this like female empowerment song about women, Black women and women of color getting paid, because I was really interested in how, on a personal level, sometimes it's hard to feel entitled to get paid, and then it's hard to spend your money when you get it, because you're like, well, I need this money.
But there's so much to do at the same time.
Yeah, but so sometimes you got to spend your money, you know, you got to enjoy yourself. You got to go out and look after yourself.
We get that a
go
lot.
out with your girls.
Yeah, that's a reality for everyone here.
So I was like, we need an anthem for that.
Yeah, that actually did work. Now, tell me about this collaboration you had with Rema. How did that happen? Now, the video just came out, right? Because I caught up on the video. I love the video. But he was just stuck up on the wall in that particular video. All right, so tell me, how did that happen with Rema? Talking about the recipe.
Yeah, well, this song started with K Tronada, and I wanted him to include some Afro beats in the music. So we were all already heading in that direction. And then I was really listening to, obviously, you know, beautiful voice, but really the lyrical content of what Rema sings about and how he approaches singing about women in particular. I'm very, very strong-minded about being respectful and uplifting towards women.
Yes.
So that's why I pick my male duet partners very, very carefully. And Rema, I felt, had this kind of, you know, deep-rooted respect for women in his singing. So I was like, I can just send the track to him, and I don't have to worry about getting back some kind of rude commentary about.
All right, so I'm playing that right now. We'll be back, and she's still with us. So Aluna, I do something for me and you do something for me. Isn't that a bit too selfish?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I was thinking about how, you know, if you first meet someone, you're trying to be on your best behavior. You're trying to seem like, you know, you're easygoing. I was like, you know what? In the end, you always got to show how high maintenance you are.
Okay.
From the beginning, because then you don't have to go back and be like, actually, this is how I like people to behave. This is how I like to be treated. So I was like, what if you were not afraid of putting anybody off, and you just come in hot in the club? This is what I like. This is what I want. This is how you treat me. And then we can take things from there if you can deal with it.
I like that. I like it. I like the sound of that. So while you were working on this project, you were pregnant. Tell me about it. I know what it is to be pregnant and working. I know what it is. I know what it feels like. So how did you pull that off, Aluna?
Well, I used music to give myself a beacon of hope and to give me energy and power, because I was afraid of how mothers are viewed in society, and so I needed to flip the narrative for myself. And I was like, okay, now look, this is going to be my secret weapon. This baby is going to be my spirit animal. There's no possible way that being a mother could be detrimental when the whole world was created by us. So let's just take away the worries about like how people think about mothers, and I'll just do it my way. Okay. So I'm going to show my daughter you can have a career, you can enjoy the feeling of making something, creating something, and being in charge of it, being the CEO of what you do. Because I think that's a nice way to show. Not everyone can show that, you know. My mother couldn't show that to me because she was a single parent. But I'm not a single parent, so I get the privilege to do that. And I think in the end, I was like, look, nothing's going to be perfect. I'm not going to be the perfect pop star, and I'm not going to be the perfect mother, but I will be the perfect combination.
Okay.
You know? That's
good. That's fantastic. Now, as a dance musician, do you get people telling you, oh, why are you in this? Why do you make this kind of sound? Why do you make this kind of music? And also, what is your connection with Afrobeats? Do you get that a lot from people?
Well, I think, first of all, people see dance music, you know, the kind of mainstream sound as white.
Yes.
When it was, because the history of dance music, the Black history of dance music is fairly much erased and unknown, even by Black people and white people. So that's where that confusion comes in. I'm actually making music of my own heritage. I'm not a visitor to the genre. But where the confusion comes in is because Black people have been kept out of the mainstream dance sound, we haven't been able to experiment how we would normally experiment. You know, when we first created dance music, we were taking inspiration from other music that other Black people around the world were making. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm like taking the original philosophy of the invention of dance music, and I'm being free. I'm like, okay, I love Afrobeat, and I want a little touch of that with my 90s UK house pianos.
Yes.
And I have the right to do that as a Black person. But yes, people will be like, what are you doing? I'm I'm reclaiming dance music from where it has been stolen to.
Exactly. Okay, if you want to say that. All right, so I've got Jaiye, the remix. Now, Ladipoe is really passionate about this song. I know when it first dropped, he had a lot to say. He was here for an interview, and Ladipoe talked about this song like it was his first child. Now, this remix has you, Ladipoe, and another person that I respect, that's Sigag Lauren. How did this remix come to be, and how did you get on it?
Well, because I was working with Rema, then Mavin Records was looking for a collaborator for this whole project for the Red charity album. And they could see, because I've been very vocal about bringing African music into the mainstream dance world, worldwide, they could feel that I had the right attitude towards what we would do with this record. So this was like an example of what we're trying to do here because it's like a real combination of everything. And that's my jam. So.
Okay, that's your jam, yeah. So we're gonna listen to that jam right after. We'll be back. There'll be some ads, and then we'll come back. But here is Jaiye, the remix. Playing here first, Ladipoe featuring Aluna, Sigag Lauren. You'd love it. My goodness, I couldn't stop dancing. Couldn't stop dancing at all. That's Jaiye, the remix. Ladipoe featuring Aluna and Sigag Lauren. Sigag is my guy, always, will ever be. Yes, Aluna has come to stay in my heart as well. Thank you for this remix. It's soothing. It's interesting. Aluna, well done for this particular one. We love it. We love it. I love it.
Yeah, it was so much fun to do. Yeah, so much fun.
I can imagine. I can imagine. So what's next for Aluna? I know you dropped a project this year, but, what's next for you now?
So next is every time I write an album, I want to do something interesting in the writing process. Usually I go somewhere different that I've never been before, but now I'm sort of trapped. And so I'm looking for ways to invent a kind of transportation without going anywhere.
Okay.
And I haven't found my solution yet, because but it's interesting because when I first started making music, I almost made it in the same kind of environment. I was very isolated. I didn't have access to traveling. So just being in the studio making music took me to another dimension.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to go back to my roots, how I first trained myself to make music, and do it that way.
All right. Thank you.
Old school, grassroots.
I like it. I like the sound of that. Thank you so much, Aluna, for joining us, taking time off your schedule to be with us to talk about your project, talk about your hiatus from the AlunaGeorge duo, and also this amazing remix, Jaiye, the remix, having Ladipoe, yourself, and Sigag on that one. Well done to you. And just before you go, please, where can we find you on social media? Anywhere, please, let us know.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Those are my go-to places.
All right. So, what's your handle so they can find you easily?
So on IG, it's Aluna.
Aluna.
Okay. And yeah, on Twitter, it's Aluna with 3 A's, I think.
Okay. I think it's double A's. Double A's.
Double A's, yeah. A couple more.
A couple more. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we just hope that this continues. Your music, your personal life, everything goes out. We hope everything goes out well for you. Send me well to your daughter. Send me well to your family. And also, we cannot wait for anything new that you have. Let us know. I will be here to show you love from Nigeria as always.
Wow. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Aluna. And we're looking forward to having you again. Well done to you. And we want to say thank you again and again and again. Well done.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.